Hello everybody. This video is basically going to be a rundown of, well, Cyberpunk. More specifically, one of the more recent gigs that have been added in one of the previous updates. And how, at least every single time I have tried to do it on my PlayStation 4 version of the game, it has failed in some way or another. Now, the gig in question is called Desperate Measures. You unlock it as one of the last gigs for El Capitan in the Santo Domingo region of Night City. And if you want the special shotgun, if you're doing a heavy weapons build like I currently am in this save, then you will have to complete this gig to be able to get it now. The problem is, this gig forces an on-rails segment.
I'm in.
Slot the splinter to the right of the wheel.
Done.
God damn it.
Talk to me, Pedro.
One sec. One sec. Got it. I have control. I'll drive.
So I just kick back, soak in the view?
Eyes open. Cocksuckers could show up any minute.
Now, one big problem I have with this game is, in my personal opinion, I think there is no excuse for the absolutely terrible coding issues that have gone on with, at the very least, the current gen consoles, like the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. I've heard that they're better on next-gen consoles and computers, but for this, it's absolutely terrible, and I'm not going to defend any of it, and I'm not going to agree with anybody that defends it at all. I think that for a AAA company capable of producing The Witcher 3 should have a better idea of how to make a game that runs well. And I had one of my friends give me the excuse of The Witcher taking 2 games to not be terrible. That excuse doesn't work at all, because a new IP doesn't automatically mean you don't know what the hell you're doing. You still have all of those decades of experience from the previous games you were doing. So, jumping from The Witcher to Cyberpunk, yeah, it's a different game, it's a different IP, it's different stuff, but you still have the experience, you still know the basics of what to do, you still know, or at least I would presume, how to code a goddamn game. The issue with this gig, and one of the very early missions right after you do the heist to secure the biochip, when you're getting driven out by Takamura, you have to do another on-rails shooting segment, and at least for this version of the game on this console, the reason why I am paused is because in the on-rails segments, your weapon won't actually spawn in your hand, or at least there's a good chance it won't, which will soft lock you and cause you to die. It does that during the on-rails segment in Takamura's car, during that mission where you're driving away from the Arasaka assassins, and it does it in this gig. The only way I have figured out how to fix that issue is by sitting in the pause menu for about half a minute, but I'm only here for longer so I can talk for more without the volume of the game overloading my voice. The other issue is one that I will get to, and that is just specifically for this gig. It involves, for some reason, this truck, no matter how little damage it takes, just blowing up and killing V and immediately failing. So, there's nothing really more that I want to add currently, so let's just continue this until we get to the part.
They're here. Mierda, mierda, mierda!
This right here actually is another issue I have. On the very last attempt I did at this gig, which was the second attempt, mind you, I spawned with my LMG. I have a heavy gunners build going on, so I have absolutely no skill points spec'd into pistols whatsoever. This pistol that it gave me is trashed here. I'm not going to be able to survive with it.
Easy, Pedro.
And I can't access my inventory to be able to swap to it. Okay. The issue I have is coming up. Right over here, where my cursor is, around the end of the street there, by the line. It doesn't matter if you kill those guys in the vehicles behind you that are chasing you. For me, this truck will blow up regardless. It did it the first time, when I got forced into using this terrible pistol that I have no skill points spec'd into. It did it the second time, when it gave me an LMG and I was able to kill all of the people chasing me within the first 10 seconds, and it's going to do it again. If it doesn't, nobody will be seeing this video because I won't have a need to upload it. But I might anyway, just to get the point across. So, let's see what happens. Note that there is absolutely no damage noticeable on this vehicle. And there it goes. So let's retry. And let's hope that I'll spawn with my machine gun like I did during the second time doing this on this save. This also isn't my first time doing this gig, because I've done it on a previous save that I have spec'd into pistols with, and I haven't been able to complete this gig on that save either, because the vehicle still destroys itself. Honestly, I am incredibly frustrated with CD Projekt Red and the way they've been handling the current gen consoles version of this game, because from what I've been told, the next gen consoles, PlayStation 5 in particular, and PC handle like a goddamn dream. So the fact that they're blatantly ignoring this current console system, the current gen, is inexcusable to me. They are just cutting off a massive portion of a player base, which is not going to do them any favours, and it's not going to win them any support. It's certainly not winning them my support. They're a AAA game development company behind Witcher 3, and again, the whole the whole "it's a new IP" excuse is not valid at all. It is a completely redundant excuse because of the fact that a new IP doesn't equally mean you don't know what you're doing whatsoever. You still have the skills that you acquired from the years in your industry to become a master at what you do, to have made one of the best roleplay games, The Witcher 3. So, there is no excuse as to why this is so bad, in my opinion. This is terrible. And this isn't base game content. This is content that has been added in an update. I believe the last update, the newest update, this was added in. Which means, in my opinion, there is even less of an excuse as to why this should be as poor as it is. This should be one of the most polished missions in the game, but it's not. It's terrible. It doesn't work, and if you don't have a pistol build spec, tough luck. You're probably not going to be able to get the weapon that you have equipped to be able to use, unless you're speccing into pistols. So, let's give this another try.
I'm in.
Slot the splinter to the right of the wheel.
Done.
God damn it.
Talk to me, Pedro.
One sec. One sec. Got it. I have control. I'll drive.
So I just kick back, soak in the view?
Eyes open. Cocksuckers could show up any minute.
Now, I will fully admit, I believe that the AV right there might be something that you need to try and shoot at if you don't want the vehicle to be destroyed. That, I will admit, would most definitely be on me for not realizing that. But in saying that, that would also be on CD Projekt Red. That would entirely be their fault, for one reason. If you do have to destroy this AV, they didn't mark it and tell you that you have to. So, good lord, I've actually been given one of the pistols I crafted specifically to try and help me through this, because I thought the first time when I failed, okay, it's going to force me to use a pistol. I don't have any skills in pistols, and I don't want to respec. I'll craft the best pistol I have that deals the most damage. So I crafted this in preparation. The second time I did this quest, it gave me my LMG. Now it's giving me this pistol on the fourth try.
They're here. Mierda, mierda, mierda!
Easy, Pedro.
Now, just another obvious issue, in case you didn't notice. There were absolutely no sounds in my gun at all during any of that, except for the whizzing of bullets passing by, which is another complaint of mine. Granted, it's not game-breaking, but still. And that deafening noise right there was due to me pausing the game, which forced all of the sounds to catch up at once. And there goes the vehicle again. I was able to successfully kill 3 of the 4 people following me, and both trucks are programmed to not be able to follow you, as far as I'm aware. Even if they were able to, they were on fire anyway. So, this issue lies with the fact that this is an incredibly broken and poorly optimized gig. Personally, I think that the people who designed this should just be ashamed of themselves. This is a pathetic job. I will be sending this off to CD Projekt Red in a ticket, hoping to God that they'll actually do something and make the current gen console version of this game not terrible to play. But I know I'm reaching for the stars with that. There's no point, no matter how customer friendly they claim to be. At the end of the day, they're a big company. I doubt they'll care. I doubt they'll do anything about it. To be honest, I'm only really playing this game again because of the hype of Edge Runners, and no matter how much absolutely amazing side content they'll be bringing out, whether it comes with the new DLC next year, or more spin-offs like Edge Runners, it's not going to fix the terrible, terrible job they did with this particular game. I really wish this game was better. I really do, because I do like this game, even if it does have some pretty mid-tier design choices in my personal opinion, and dialogue that is on the same level as Fallout 4 when it comes to the dialogue that you can choose in your game when you're talking to another person. The overarching story is wonderful. I love it. The theme, the Cyberpunk theme, is wonderful. I love it. But everything else is mid-tier. And the coding on this game is absolutely terrible. This gig is the perfect example of that. So, on the off chance that some poor sod at Cyberpunk's development team in CD Projekt Red sees this, I would say I feel bad, but I really don't, because this is just a terrible job. I hope this gets fixed, because this will mean I am literally unable to 100% the game on this save, on all of my saves, because I haven't gotten this gig done on any of my saves. All because of this genuinely game-breaking bug when it comes to this specific mission. So yeah, to anyone who's managed to actually watch this whole way through, bravo, you managed to listen to me rant on about how Cyberpunk 2077 is nowhere near as good of a game as people say it is currently, because I'm not rich enough to be able to afford a PC that's worth thousands of dollars, or be able to summon a PlayStation 5 from thin air, because none of those things exist. Here I am, stuck on my lowly PlayStation 4 on a game that the company CD Projekt Red has put next to no effort into trying to fix on a technical level for this console system that I'm aware of. And if people say that they have, I would certainly like to see it. So, here's hoping this gig in particular, and here's hoping to God himself that the software for this game, the coding, the whatever the hell causes this game to be such a mess on PlayStation 4 gets patched as well. So that's about it.